Hey guys, welcome back to True Crime with Shannon, where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. You guys, it has finally gotten cold here in Florida, and I brought out one of my hoodies. It's a little chilly, and I don't know, I was kind of jealous that everybody else was wearing their hoodies, but I'm not so sure because my feet are freezing. So, I don't know, we don't do the cold too good here in Florida, but it's been the 50s and 60s, so it's not horrible. So I really can't complain when it comes down to it. I'm going to cover the update on the Gabby Petito case today. But before I do, I always like to feature a missing persons poster on the channel. So let me pull up today's missing persons poster. Today's missing person is out of Washington, D.C., Laniyah Williams. She's been missing since Tuesday, November 15th, which was this week, around 4:10 p.m., it says. She's been missing from the 1200 block of North Capitol Street Northwest. It states that the Metropolitan Police Department is seeking the public's assistance in locating 15-year-old Laniyah Williams, who was last seen in the 1200 block of North Capitol Street Northwest on Tuesday, November 15th. She's described as a black female, 5 foot tall, 120 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a black polo shirt, a black coat with a fur hood, and black and white tennis shoes. If you have any information on this missing 15-year-old, they're asking you to call in. Either you can always call 911 or you can call for anonymous tips at 202-727-9099, or you can also text to 50411 . And again, this is a missing 15-year-old out of Washington, D.C., and there's also a command and information center number here. So there's honestly about 4 or 5 different ways you can help if you spot this young lady. And their phone number here is 202-727-9099, which actually is the same number as the anonymous tips. So if you have spotted this young 15-year-old, please call 911 or one of those numbers, or do a text. Like, again, you can be anonymous. Just let's help her come back home to her family. So today there was some news that are out of Sarasota County, and again, for any Gabby Petito news, I tend to go with WFLA. JB Buno and the team over there, they have been the best at coverage for this, as well as News Nation on the Gabby Petito case since it first brought it, a little over a year ago. It states Brian Laundrie's estate to pay $3 million to settle wrongful death lawsuit. Now, we're going to get into that because it's not, that number can be a little confusing. So let's read the article here. Tampa, Florida. Brian Laundrie's estate will pay Gabby Petito's family $3 million to settle a wrongful death lawsuit they brought against it. The suit, filed in May, alleged Christopher and Roberta Laundrie knew their son Brian murdered Petito. The family has also filed a civil lawsuit against the Laundries, alleging the same thing. They're also suing the Moab Police Department over its response to an incident involving the couple. Petito went missing during the couple's lengthy road trip, which they documented on their YouTube and Instagram pages. Her body was found September 19th near Wyoming's Grand Teton National Park. Investigators searched for Laundrie for more than a month before his body was found in Sarasota County's Carlton Reserve. The FBI said he shot himself in the head and confessed to killing Petito in a notebook found near his remains. As a direct and proximate consequence of Brian Laundrie's torturous conduct, Nicole Schmidt and Joseph Petito incurred funeral and burial expenses, and they have suffered a loss of care and comfort, and have suffered a loss of probable future companionship, society, and comfort, the suit said. The suit sought a trial by jury in damages which exceeded $30,000. On Thursday, the families reached an agreement to settle the wrongful death claim for $3 million and avoid going to trial. Hopefully, this brings some closure to this one chapter of this tragedy, and I look forward to working with Pat Riley to resolve the litigation pending against Chris and Roberta, the Laundrie's attorney, Stephen Bertolino said in a statement to WFLA. Brian Laundrie's assets are believed to be in the 5 figures. Therefore, it's unlikely the family will receive $3 million. Petito's parents said they plan to donate the money they do receive to the Gabby Petito Foundation. which was created in their daughter's honor to help families and friends of missing people. So that's why the $3 million is kind of just a number, because he doesn't have that kind of money. Look what he did. He stole Gabby's money, and he didn't even buy that van. None of those things belong to Brian. He used her credit card on the way back and all that sort of stuff. So Brian his estate doesn't have that kind of money. So I don't know what the exact amount will be on the settlement. I don't know if we'll ever even know, because a lot of times these settlements are sealed, and I know that we don't tend to know. But just because they said $3 million doesn't mean that they're getting $3 million. Regardless, though, it's going to the Gabby Petito Foundation, which, if you're not familiar with, let me pull that up because it's an amazing foundation. So they did post, WFLA's J.B. Buno posted the documents. He's got them on Facebook. He probably posted them on Twitter too. I generally just check Facebook first. You can always look him up on Facebook at WFLA JB Buno, or you could just go to WFLA and he's always on there. So let me see if we can zoom in enough so I can read this. Super small print. Okay. Looks like it was filed November 17th at 7:57 a.m. In the 12th Judicial Circuit Court in and for Sarasota County, Florida. Nicole Schmidt as administrator of the estate of Gabrielle Petito, plaintiff, versus Barry A. Spivey, curator of the estate of Brian Laundrie, deceased. Let's see, there's the case number. Man, this is really hard to read. Let me see if I can read it on my Facebook here. This cause came to be heard upon the stipulation of the parties regarding entry of a judgment in favor of the plaintiff, Nicole Schmidt, as administrator of the estate of Gabrielle Venora Petito, and against the defendant, Barry F. Spivey, as curator of the estate of Brian Laundrie, deceased, and the court being duly advised in the premises, it is ordered and adjudged as follows. Based upon the stipulation of the parties, Patrick J. Riley, on behalf of the plaintiff, and Christopher John Laundrie and Roberta Marie Laundrie, as administrators ad litem of the estate of Brian Laundrie, deceased, judgment is entered in favor of the plaintiff, Nicole Schmidt, as administrator of the estate of Gabrielle Venora Petito, and against the defendant, Barry F. Spivey, as curator of the estate of Brian Laundrie, deceased, in the amount of $3 million, for which lets execution issue, and it is further ordered and adjudged that Christopher John Laundrie and Roberta Marie Laundrie, as administrators ad litem of the estate of Brian Laundrie, deceased, and who were appointed administrators for the sole purpose of asserting any defense to this independent action, shall complete under Florida R. Civ. P. Form 977 fact information sheet, including all required attachments, to the best of their ability and without engaging outside counsel or other paid assistance, and further without having to obtain any document not existing in their home, and therefore serve and fax information sheet on plaintiff's counsel within 45 days from the date of the final judgment, unless final judgment is satisfied on post judgment is stayed. Jurisdiction of this case is hereby retained to enter further orders that are proper to compel the judgment debtor to complete Form 1.977, including all required attachments, and serve it on the plaintiff's counsel. Done and ordered at Venice, Sarasota County, Florida on 11/17/2022, and it was signed by Hunter W. Carroll, Circuit Judge. So, that's the order today that came through. Again, that was just like the details of that. JB is clear on it because he's got all their legal folks. He's stating a few important things to note in this particular situation. The $3 million amount is an arbitrary number. Brian Laundrie's estate money and assets is a 5-digit figure sum, which is what the article stated. That money will go to the Gabby Petito Foundation, the family says. This is completely separate from the civil lawsuit filed by Gabby Petito's parents against the parents of Brian Laundrie. That case, which is for intentional infliction of emotional distress, heads to a jury trial in August 2023. This decision has no impact on either of the two other preceding lawsuits. The civil suit against Chris and Laundrie and the lawsuit against the city of Moab. Both those cases remain active, pending litigation. Okay, so, and he's also got the statement from the Petito and the Schmidt family. It's a statement of final judgment from the Schmidt Petito family. A final judgment by stipulation of the parties in the amount of $3 million has been entered in the wrongful death case filed against the estate of Brian Laundrie and in favor of Nicole Schmidt as administrator of the estate of Gabrielle Venor Petito. As a result, the trial has been scheduled for December 2022 will not be held. The Petito family lost their daughter and were also denied the opportunity to confront her killer. No amount of money is sufficient to compensate the Petito family for the loss of their daughter Gabby at the hands of Brian Laundrie. Brian did not have $3 million. It's an arbitrary number. Yeah, I don't think he even had close to that. Whatever monies they do receive will help Gabby's family in their endeavors with the Gabby Petito Foundation. The Gabby Petito Foundation will continue to address the needs of organizations that support locating missing persons and to provide aid to organizations that assist victims of domestic violence situations through education, awareness, prevention strategies. Joseph Petito and Nicole Schmidt wish to turn their personal tragedy into a positive. It is their hope that the Gabby's Foundation will bring these important issues into the forefront of the public eye to the benefit of all of our communities. So, that's a statement from the family. And there is also a response as of 12:46 today on November 17th from Laundrie attorney Steve Bertolino. It said, he states, at the last court conference for this claim against Brian's estate, I indicated to Judge Carroll that I would work with the attorney Riley to find a resolution to the wrongful death claim to avoid the expense of a trial when the outcome of a money judgment was unavoidable. Working with Pat Riley and Matt Luca from Trombley and Haynes, and we reached an agreement to settle the wrongful death claim for $3 million. Hopefully this brings some closure to this one chapter of this tragedy, and I look forward to working with Pat Riley to resolve the litigation pending against Chris and Roberta. So take that as you will. So no amount of money can bring Gabby back, obviously. So the family is just hoping that some kind of money can help bring this foundation that they've created in her memory and honor to help missing persons and the domestic violence victims. So again, it's about making a positive out of a horrible, tragedy. As far as the other lawsuit they have against the parents, that's a whole different thing. I don't think that one's about money at all. I don't think this one even was completely either, but they can't confront Brian. They can confront Chris and Roberta. So, with that said, there's been articles that they don't want to answer all those questions, and they're trying to dissuade that. So, the no amount of money again is help bring Gabby back, and I think the same is being concerned about the other lawsuit. But I'm thinking that lawsuit against the parents is more about trying to get some answers, and that's more of a closure. So the depositions that the Laundries are fighting, having to answer all those questions and have to talk, that seems to be the next thing on deck, because they don't want to tell the truth. I mean, they just want to have this all be over with and move on. And I do think, Gabby's family also wants it to be over, but, they deserve some answers. I mean, we're all curious as well. For example, what's in that envelope that says burn after reading? What's in that? So, I mean, there's a lot of questions, and, the only ones that could potentially answer them are, Chris and Roberta Laundrie. So, are we going to ever get any answers out of them, or are they going to just try everything they possibly can with Bertolino and their other attorneys to stay as silent as possible, which is what they did during this whole, when Gabby was missing and then sadly later found deceased and their son was gone. So they're definitely not a couple to talk, that's for sure. So for those that have not checked out the Gabby Petito Foundation, this is their website, and I'm going to include that in the information of this video. So this is their website here, and you can ask for help if you are a victim. Right here they got Get Help. There's a store if you want to support them in some way, and they tell you all about it. There's a scholarship, and then they do many events as well. I know that I saw that recently that Joseph Petito did like a walk a mile in her shoes, and they were wearing like those high-heeled shoes, and the men were wearing those, and the women were not wearing heels, so that was kind of cute. But here is like the store here, and I know you can get still bracelets and that sort of thing, and I have a couple. I think there's actually one still behind me here. There's my Gabby bracelet right there, and I do have another one as well. So there's definitely options if you want to just get something small, and then you could also just make a plain out donation, and it helps out in as well. But this, honestly, as sad as the situation has been with Gabby, you know, the fact that the family's making something good out of it and helping her memory, you know, help other folks with domestic violence and that sort of thing, they're definitely helping. And I think it's going to make a huge, you know, it's already made a difference, and it's going to make an even more of a difference in the years to come. So that's pretty much the current update on that particular end of their lawsuits. And I will definitely keep you guys updated on the other lawsuit, and then the Mohab lawsuit. That one's more recent. I know folks are a little bit more mixed on that one. But, I mean, I'm definitely much more curious about the lawsuit against the Laundrie parents at this point. So that's the one I would like to see next year and get some more answers from. But, you know, but let me know. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm always curious of what you guys' thoughts are. So that's going to be it for today. I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Do me a favor on your way out, hit that like button if you will. And if you haven't subscribed, I really appreciate it if you would. And with that said and done, that's going to be it for today. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And most of all, stay safe.